House of Cards podcast, the show where we break down the art of creative real estate investing. Join us as we dive into the world of real estate with insider tips and tricks for making your investments go further. From buying with no money down to flipping properties for profit, we've got you covered. Plus, stay tuned for expert guest speakers who will share their knowledge and experience in this ever-changing market. So grab a seat and get ready to learn the secrets to success in real estate investing. And now, from Alaska to New York, your hosts, Chris James and Jesse Stanton.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed from Alaska to New York this morning. Happy Saturday, guys. As you guys can see, the infamous Chris James, the king, has returned.
What's going on, guys? Nothing much, man. I'm glad to be back. Definitely been a few weeks. Been a few weeks.
Fantastic, man. You look well rested. You let your hair down. Dude, tell me about it. Fill all of us in, man. What is the infamous Chris James been up to, man? I'm dying to know. You've been doing a lot, dude. You've been a busy bee. You're living the life that I want to be living.
No, it's been amazing, actually. More so, I know, not for sure if some of you guys know, my family and I, we actually went on a cruise. We went to the Dominican Republic and a couple other places as well for about a week or so. And then traveling back, we ended up also back to New York, then also to Florida for another week or so. So I've definitely been traveling. It's been amazing, which is more so, guys. I just want to say, if especially Jesse and I, we work a lot. If you guys, whether you're working a lot or a little, you always need some time alone or some self-care, so to speak, guys. You always got to make sure your mental health is there. Make sure you get some alone time, whatever that looks like for you guys. I know a lot of people either do yoga, a lot of people either do like for you, everyone's a little bit different, right? I know a lot of people like to go to the gym in the morning or gym at night, or just sometimes snooze your phone for about an hour or two, and maybe that's what you probably need. But I'm super excited to be back. I missed you guys. I definitely missed you guys. Good morning, Ken. Good to see you. Good morning, Sonia, or good afternoon, depending on the time zone. Ken, I know you're getting married soon. I was actually curious. Is that going to be Alaska, or are you doing it somewhere else? I wasn't for sure. She said, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Love it. Ray, I can't wait to see you in Vegas, man. Can't wait to see all of you guys in Vegas. It's going to be pretty neat. Miss you too, man. Miss you too. Allison, what's going on? Angel Miller. Good morning or good afternoon. I keep saying good morning. A lot of people is on either
some people are in the morning.
Some people at the mansion. Okay, nice. That'd be pretty neat. Jesse, are you guys gonna be recording that whole scenery, or what's going on with that as far as at the wedding?
That's a good question. That's up to Chris, dude. Chris, that's up to Ken, man. I don't know. I'm really excited though. I've never officiated a wedding before.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I'm super excited for this. We're gonna make it extremely memorable. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be magical.
Amazing. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty neat. Yeah, definitely record that. I would love to see that. Yeah, guys, we're super excited about Vegas. I'm super excited, not just myself, but the team, Jesse, Angel, James. We're all super excited to see everyone in person in Vegas. It's going to be pretty neat. It's just going to be a different experience, guys. It's going to be very intimate. It's going to be very all about you and your business and how we can help it, and not just help, but more so how we can, before leaving an event, get something in escrow right then and there. Why procrastinate? Let's make it happen right then and there, guys. It's gonna be 3 days. It's gonna be very long. It's gonna be transparent, guys. We want to make sure we're there for you. If you guys need us a little bit longer than the normal time that we have allotted for you guys, that is no problem. Myself, Kevin, Jesse, Angel, James, and the rest of the crew, we definitely prepare to make sure your business is a step forward in the right direction. So I just wanted to preface with that, guys. Vegas is going to be June 13th, 14th, and 15th. For the VIP, it's going to be is it the day before or is it the day after? I
Yep.
can't remember.
It'll be
Day before.
everybody who's a VIP should be flying into Vegas the same day that the rest of us are. Unless you're Chris James, you're going to go in and hang out in Vegas a week early.
It's gonna be marinate for a little bit.
You'll be getting your tan on. Well, the rest of the people in Alaska are in tanning beds. Chris is going to be sitting and soaking up the vitamin D in person. I'm jelly.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, guys. You guys definitely don't want to miss this event. I know it's something that's going to be very different. I really want to preface that it's going to be very different. It's not your traditional, more so live in-person event where you have a lot of speakers on stage, just more communicating to you. It's going to be a lot of interaction. So this is going to be mentally prepared to put you guys in uncomfortable positions that Jesse, I, and the team,
Me, myself, and I,
is going to ensure that we want to make sure that we're going to at least have everyone that leaves that specific event, deals are in escrow. There's no reason why deals should be in escrow when you leave. It's going to be a 3-day event, guys. VIP is going to be 4. But we're going to ensure specifically that you guys are going to 10x your business or maybe 20x that, whatever that looks like for you guys. But we're going to ensure that we're going to spend all our time for you. Jesse, did I leave anything out?
No, dude, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think, it's really easy for somebody to put an event on and then just say, hey, guys, no, seriously, guys, hey, hey, no, seriously, this one's going to be different.
Right.
But I've been to enough where they're all the same. It's a lot of rah-rah stuff. A lot of the things that people talk about, it's kind of I don't know if what's the word here? They talk from the perspective of where they are now. And so for a lot of people go to these events, they're talking about how you can either buy businesses or you should be doing real estate or you should be, a lot of the motivational rah-rah stuff. And they're giving a lot of perspective from where those individuals are right now. And it gets people fired up because it allows people to kind of see the vision of where they could be too. Well, what they're missing, in my humble opinion, is a lot of them miss the mark on meeting the individuals that are in the audience of where they are right now. And it's one thing to go up there and even just tell a story about how somebody in the audience changed their life. But where this event is going to be different is it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with Chris, has nothing to do with myself or any of the other events or individuals putting on this event with us. It's all about you.
Yep.
Like right there, like like during this mastermind, we will be putting together blueprints for you guys. We're going to be setting goals. During this event, we're actually going to be looking at properties. We're going to be actually raising capital. We're going to shave 3 years of the learning curve for everybody in 3 days. Think about where you want to be 3 years from now. And in 3 days, knowing exactly how you're going to do that, and you're going to shave off way, 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 way less time. This is the first event that Chris and I have ever put on, and for good reason.
Yep.
We've spent a lot of time honing and perfecting our craft and getting not only proof of concepts, but sustainability and predictability in our own business so that we can put an event on and literally just give everything to you. And I want to hold your hand. I want to sit down right next to you at a desk and start putting these things into place. I want to be answering your questions. And even beyond the event, we'll go to dinner and we'll continue talking about those things. We have other events and things lined up for you guys. They're going to complement what we're teaching you during this mastermind. And even beyond that, if we still need to go back into the hotel lobby or whatever and sit with you all night freaking long in order for you to get the information and grasp what it is you're supposed to be doing, why you're supposed to be doing it, and who you're supposed to be doing it with, then we will. I've never seen anybody else do this before, Chris. And because of that, this mastermind is being ran just like that. It's coming with a guarantee. I've never seen anybody else put their money where their mouth is. I've never seen anybody put it on an event and say, hey guys, if you don't like this, hey, just let me know and I'll cut you a check right then and there. I will literally, in person, before you leave, take the check back home with you. We are willing to put our money where our mouth is. We're willing to put our reputation on the line. We're willing to lose money for you guys. So I want you to think about that for a second. I really want you to think about where it is that you're trying to be by the end of the year. We're already almost halfway into May. It's May 11th today. We're almost halfway through the year. What have you guys done this year? How much content have you consumed? How much action have you taken? Maybe you've taken a lot of action. Maybe you guys are working between your W-2 and this business. Maybe you guys are working 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 hours a day. If you are, guess what? I've been there. If you're working that hard and that much and you're not where you want to be, this is the guarantee. It's literally risk-free. Let us show you how to get to where Chris and I are in person. Let's build a personal connection. That's what we're doing. That's what you have to stand to gain from going to this event. Make sure you guys are here. Chris, is there anything that I missed? You guys can go to, Chris has been putting the link in the comments. Visit unleashandinvest.com. You guys can sign up there, unleashandinvest.com. You guys can get your tickets. Tickets will be going up to regular price, I believe, on Tuesday.
That is correct.
I think it's on Tuesday. So if you guys want to save, you got to get your tickets now. Derek says, I'm already booked up and ready to go. Derek, Big D, let's go, baby. Let's go, man.
Amazing.
Once you make that decision, once you say yes, here, Chris, here's something that I was talking about this earlier in the week, and I would love to get your perspective on this real quick. One thing that I really love about what we do, like inside of our business internally, businesses, is one thing we have gotten right is our ability to make decisions. And I love the fact that we pride ourselves on being able to make a decision. And here's why I want to make a distinction, guys. A lot of people are worried about failing. A lot of people are worried about, maybe you guys sitting here right now listening to this, maybe you're like, man, this sounds like what I need, but what if it's not? What if it's not? Well, one, it's a guarantee. You get all your money back. So you're literally losing nothing by attending this event. It's risk-free. But number two is one thing that I've done really good, and Chris has done really good in cultivating inside of our company culture is not like sitting on a decision for so long because we're trying to make the right decision. What we're really good at is making a decision and then all of us buying into that decision, and we make the decision right. We start building a plan and saying, this is the direction we're going to go, and we're going to make this fit what it is we're trying to do. And everybody buys in here. That's a skill. I remember Cody Sanchez. Chris, you got to see Cody Sanchez talk live.
I did.
Tell me if she shared this. I seen one of the things that she shared, and it really resonated with me. And she talked about people's ability to make decisions. There's a direct link between where people want to be and where people are, and their ability to simply make a decision. And she talked about how people will if she's wanting to work with them or if she's wanting to bring them into her businesses or whatever, she'll take them out to get coffee or she'll take them to lunch or dinner or something like that. She'll see how they interact. She'll say how long they take to make a decision. Do they have people waiting on them hand and foot? Do they say, hey, give me anything with meat on it and just hand them the menu back? When do they go to a coffee shop? Are they standing there for 20 minutes mulling over the item with no care to the individuals or the customers behind them? Is there no self-awareness there? Are they willing to inconvenience other people only to 20 minutes later decide that they want to walk away with a small coffee and a muffin? That says a lot, dude. And I think that speaks volumes of the kind of individuals that are willing to make a decision and then go in on all that decision and they make the decision right. And for everybody who's coming to Vegas, I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to start thinking about getting clarity on why you're coming here. What is it that you need? So the moment that you land in Vegas, I want you to come up to Chris and I and Angel and Kevin and the rest of the team. I want you guys to start asking questions that are centered around why you are here in Vegas. It's already risk-free. You literally lose nothing. But you stand everything to gain. And believe me when I say this. You guys have followed Chris and I enough to know this by now. I'm not trying to sell anybody on everything. The reason that we're so passionate about this is because we freaking know that we can help you. That's why we can guarantee this. That's why we can put a money-back guarantee on this. Because this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, let's put this event on, and then we'll go do whatever. Right. Hopefully, and then walk away. But hopefully, everybody took something from it. We want 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Angel says, Simon Sinek calls that the coffee house interview. You make the decision, and then you make the decision right. Stop worrying about whether you are making the right decision, but make the decision, buy into it, and then the preparatory going into that and preparing to get the result that you want is how you make the decision right. So get your guys' tickets, unleashandinvest.com. We actually had Mindy Landers. Actually, we've had a couple individuals this week, actually, Chris, get into the VIP stuff. So when you get the VIP stuff, you guys will not only be coming in a day earlier and spending a day prior with us, but we'll have a private dinner. And then you'll also get an additional like 60 days of support for implementing everything that we learned over the course of those 3 days. So this is really set up with the entire intent of everybody here and the things that you guys are wanting to do. So I'm really excited for it. This will literally be unlike anything else.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, man. Super excited. Just more so looking back and reflecting as far as where you and I first started to where we're at now and the things we could change. And I know you and I don't regret things in life. You know, things happen for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. It's always about timing. And that kind of brings us to today's topic more so. You are meant for more. And Jesse and I, we're putting on this event because you are meant for more. And I, not just myself, but the team want you guys to realize that you're holding yourself back. If Jesse and I knew what we knew today, 10 years ago, it would have been a different ball game. It would have been a different ball game. And it's just amazing as far as to look at and reflect and just not just reflect, just truly understand exactly what the reality is and what can actually happen. And to really take a couple minutes and to really think about it, and saying they have the wishful thinking and change that a little bit and more so make it a reality, it's totally different. I used to be that guy, and I could probably speak for Jesse more so, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse. I used to be that guy to more so wished I can have these things, or wish I could have the nice cars, or wish I could have a
100%.
nice house, or wish. And in fact, there's no need to wish. You're capable of doing more than you even think. Sometimes it will shock you, like, damn, that just happened. Like it's amazing. I'm very thankful and blessed and humbled to be around the right individuals. I know sometimes it can be difficult to more so remove any toxic people out of life, especially the people you love. But at the same time, in order for you to really achieve your full potential, you have to do that. You have to remove any toxic, not just information, but people, negativity, all that got to be removed in order for you to reach your full potential. And myself, Jesse, Angel, James, these are individuals I love surrounding myself with. Who's gonna push you forward? Who's gonna put you in uncomfortable positions? Who's gonna call you out on things? You need that. If you went an entire month and no one called you out on something, do you have the right accountability partners? Yeah, you need to relook at that, because either two things are happening there. One, your partners are not putting you in uncomfortable positions, and or two, your partners don't really care. So are you having those uncomfortable conversations? Are you having those intentional conversations to not just move the ball forward, so to speak, but really understand exactly how can you pull up their full potential? When I wake up on a daily basis, I feel like it's my job, I know it's my job to ensure that I try to do my darnest to pull out the full potential of Jesse, Angel, James on a daily basis. No matter what that looks like, whether it's uncomfortable, whether it may be a difficult conversation. And I expect the same. It may hurt. They may say, "Hey, Chris, what's going on with this?" Or, "Chris, I didn't know you could be doing this." It may hurt when they're telling me, but you need that. And a lot of people will take that in a different direction. A lot of people will take that in a different direction. When you like on a couple years ago, like let's say 5 or 6 years ago, I'd be the type of individual, somebody try to tell me something that I'm doing wrong, but more so put me in an uncomfortable position. I was the type of person to be very defensive. Like, damn, like this guy, I don't like this guy. I'm not gonna ever talk to this person again. Versus now really just sitting back and realize, okay, this actually learned this from Jesse. Jesse, I don't know if you know this, but I actually learned this from you in regards to more so actually taking a step back and realizing, is this coming from good intent? Does that really did this person or did this conversation, what was the initial intent? Was it a positive manner? Was it a negative? Like, always approach things with it. Always approach things in a positive manner where the intent was going to be in a good manner. And that's Jesse, that's something I learned from you. And that's something that I not just started to reflect on, but realize that everyone's not out to get you. At the same time, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. And it's just where I'm at in my life right now. I'm happy. Could it be better? Absolutely. Whose life could not be better than what they're at right now? I don't care if you have $1 in your account. I don't care if you're negative $1. I don't care if you got $1 million in your account. There's always more. There's always more potential in you. And I don't think you're ever going to reach your full potential ever. Let's be honest. You'll get close. You'll get very close. But are you ever going to achieve your full potential? And that's something that I more so struggle with personally, because I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I know I can reach my full potential. How can I really reach my full potential? But if I reach my full potential, do I stop being uncomfortable? Now I'm comfortable. Or do I push myself constantly to reach whatever that may look like? And I always, you guys probably think I'm crazy. I always fight myself, like not in the like, not I beat myself up or anything like that, but more so I always think about it like, okay, Chris, you can reach your full potential, but if you reach your full potential, are you done? How do you if I reach my full potential, how do I make myself even more uncomfortable? If I reach my full potential. So that's something I'm actually still battling. Like, is there really a full potential? Or can you get close? Or can you surpass that, or actually break through that potential? And maybe there's something else. So that's a lot. That's a lot of different things I've been thinking about and more. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And it's just I love this topic for today.
Oh, you went on mute, brother.
What about now?
You're good.
Can't be great. I would love to be great on a Saturday. Love to be great. But no, more so, guys, I truly want everyone to know that you have so much more than you. I try, but not just myself, but Jesse, we communicate with a lot of individuals on a daily basis. We talk to a lot of people virtually, in person, at events. We talk to a lot of people, and sometimes trying to bring that uncomfortability out of them, and their eyes bring negativity. They probably think like, okay, this guy is just more so being an a-hole or be whatever that looks like, because he thinks he's better than me, and that's not the case. And then that individual wonder why they're struggling from, check to check or whatever that looks like.
It's a victim mentality.
That well said right there, victim mentality. And along with that is also where they came from, how they were raised. They're too comfortable of where they're at in their life. They're okay living check to check. They're looking for the quick, what's the slogan for it? The quick
easy button.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Easy button. They're looking for that easy button for someone just.
Oh, you got muted again. I wonder if your mic comes like if there's a short or something in it and it detects it or something.
I'm just gonna let it marinate.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
I'm just gonna let it marinate. But more so, guys, I just want you to understand, not just myself, but Jesse, you have so much potential, guys. Don't let nobody stop you from reaching your full potential. And once you actually receive or achieve your full potential, try to break through that. Try to see what's after your potential, your full potential.
You know, what's really interesting, Chris, I had an experience yesterday that, I mean, like you said, like who wouldn't want more? Is there anybody, like throw this in the comments. Like, I'm curious to know, is there anybody right now in your life where you're like this is it? Like I've achieved like my peak moment. I'm exactly where I want to be. I don't want more, not capable of more. Like, this is it. I am good. Is there anybody? Let me know in the comments. And it's okay if you are. Like, I genuinely want to know. I think we all want more. Angel said, not even the tip of the iceberg. Angel and I had such a wonderful conversation yesterday about obsession. And I had an epiphany yesterday. Because like Chris said, you're always chasing the next thing. Each time you hit a new milestone, you're going for the next milestone and the next benchmark and just continuing to grow and elevate. And you hit a lot of people, you hit that first $1 million, then you're like, okay, I need $10 million. And then it's like, okay, I need $50 million. And then I need the $100 million. And then, you know what I mean? Like, you're continuing to chase the next thing. And you always think that next milestone is going to be it. And then you get there and it's like, wow, is this where you want to be? And you're like, not even close. It's like, okay, cool. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And it's important to look back and see how far you've come. When I was in Hawaii last year, I did a hike, and we were hiking up this mountain. I'm not much of a hiker, ironically enough. I live in Alaska, but I'm not much of a hiker. I like to go, that's why I got a 4-wheeler. Who wants to hike up a damn mountain when you can hop on a 4-wheeler and let the damn thing take you up? So I didn't have a 4-wheeler in Hawaii. So I, grudgingly, against my will, went on a hike. And I'm hiking up this mountain in Oahu. And we got off the beaten path. There was a split. There was a fork in the trail. And one went this way and one went this way. And we didn't know. They both looked like they were about beaten down the same, I don't know, the same, like they looked identical. They just split. And so we're like, all right, we can go left, we can go right. So we made a decision, right? We're like, I don't know, let's go right. And so we took the right path. And maybe after about, 30 or 40 yards or so, the path becomes less and less beat down, and it's getting more and more narrow. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is all good. And then the path, for a lot of you guys who hike, like a lot of these paths, kind of have these zigzag patterns, and occasionally you'll have like a few stairs or something up, and then it goes back, it zigzags, and just kind of goes back and forth as you're going up the mountain. And this particular trail did that to an extent, and then there was a piece where the trail just went straight up. And you couldn't tell like how far up it went straight up and where it leveled back out. We're like, all right, well, let's get going. So we start climbing straight up this mountain, and it's getting steeper and steeper and steeper. And guys, I'm in my skate shoes. I didn't even have hiking shoes with me. I had no intentions when I went to Hawaii to go hiking. So I'm in skate shoes, like the Etnies. I'm hiking this mountain in some freaking Etnies, some fat ass skate shoes, man. And we start going straight up this mountain, and like it gets to a point where I'm like, Chris, I'm like scared, dude. Like I'm on all fours hiking up this mountain, and it's slippery, it's rocky. Like it is so steep that you can't go back down it. You can't even scoot on your butt down it, or you will slide down the mountain. Like it was that scary.
Wow.
And I'm like, gosh, dang, dude. And I'm like I said, I'm kind of scared, trying to figure out how I'm going to get off this mountain. Where am I going to go? Definitely should have went left. And a real Sophie's choice, right? Well, it's got to be this one then. And anyway, I'm getting tired. I'm kind of panicking a little bit because I know I can't turn around and go down. So I'm just trying to figure out, how do I not kill myself hiking up this mountain in these skate shoes? And as I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I'm nowhere close. I'm nowhere close to where I want to be. I have no idea where the trail ahead is for this to plateau out. And I'm sitting there like just on all fours. My calves are burning. My back hurts. And as I'm sitting here feeling, I'm not sorry for myself, but I'm like, man, like what the hell did I just get myself into? I take a second and I look back, and it was just the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my entire life. I just saw just these lush trees and vegetation. I could see out to the ocean. It had just this beautiful emerald blue color to it. I see, ships off into the ocean. I see beaches. See people playing on the beaches. I see cars. I can see the kind of like these different valleys and peaks. And Just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And it just served as such a great reminder that as I'm climbing up this mountain, despite how far I've gone up the mountain, I'm sitting here looking like, man, I need to get here. 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 I need that next level, that next level, that next level. And it was such a great reminder to turn around and be like, Jesse, fucking take a second here, man. I know this hike sucks. It hurts. It's exhausting. It's long. It's difficult. You didn't prep for this. You're in the wrong shoes. You made the decision. Clearly, it wasn't the decision that you thought it was going to be, but you have a choice now. Do you turn around? Do you give up? Do you call for help? Or do you see it through? Do you make the decision right? Do you plan? Do you pivot? Do we move forward here? And gosh, man, I'm so glad that I turned around and saw that view, because yesterday I had the idea to take my 2-year-old, my 3 kids go to school. And I had the idea to take my 2-year-old. I said, hey, let's go to Firehouse Subs. Let's go grab subs for everybody, and let's go meet your 3 other siblings at school. So we went to Firehouse Subs. We went and got some sandwiches, and I drove out to their school, went to the office. I got my 3 kids. And my kids love to play in the back of my truck. Don't know why, but they love to just pretend and build forts, and they'll bring stuff out there, and they just love to play in the back of my truck. And so that's what we did. I went and got them, and we walked out to the parking lot, and we just ate subs in the back of my truck. And similarly to that story of my experience in Hawaii when I was hiking, I'm sitting here thinking about where I used to be. I'm sitting here thinking about, well, one, like, am I where I want to be yet? No. Do I feel like I should be further along? Yeah. But as I'm sitting here eating my subs with my kids in the back of my truck, I thought about how far I've come. I turned around and looked at the view. I saw where I was when I joined the Air Force. I was able to turn around and see where I was when I was growing up, the mindset stuff. I was able to look back and see the other kids I went to school with, man, that told me I would never do it. I'd never make it. I'd never be a rock star. I'd never, do any of that kind of stuff. I saw how a lot of the scarcity minded things and the environment I was raised in played into how I spent, 29 years of my life. And I had this epiphany, and I was like, man, you know what? Me being able to turn around and see this beautiful view, because it molded me into the person that I became. I had to go through those things. Just like all of you here have your own view to look back and appreciate and admire. And you probably might not be where you want to be yet. I don't think any of us ever are. I didn't see anybody in the comments saying, yes, I'm content. So I can further assume that you guys want more. As I'm sitting there eating sandwiches with my kids, I'm looking at this view, and I'm like, man, you know what? Had I stayed in the military, I'd be prepping for deployment right now. Certainly wouldn't be here eating sandwiches with my kids at school. It was neat to be present and in that moment, and to capture it and let it serve as a reminder to how far I've come. And part of that journey is taking the time to notice those moments and to appreciate them and say, hey, I'm not where I am, but look back at the view. Notice the ocean, notice the color, notice the sounds, notice the birds. Notice the ships honking their horns in the distance. Notice the other vegetation. So all of this was going through my head both yesterday and as well as when I was in Hawaii on that hike. And Chris, lo and behold, after I finally got to the damn top, I figured out that the path we went down was a fucking goat's trail. It was not a hiking trail.
I was waiting for you to say moose trail or something.
Some damn goat trail, man. Only those damn goats are crazy enough to go straight up those mountains like that. So I was like, oh, yep. I was able to talk with some of the locals at the top. So I appreciated it a little bit more. You know, it built my calves up. I got to experience something that probably most people don't. You know, I don't know how many people take that trail in skate shoes, but I came out a better person because of it. And I appreciate the experience. So I just wanted to serve. I wanted to share that with you guys. Just let it serve as a reminder for where you are right now and the decisions you're going to make this year. That's going to put you in the position to be where you want to be by the end of the year. With this event in Las Vegas, let this be part of your journey. I want you to look back at the end of the year and see how far you've come in just 6.5 months. I want you to look back at that and notice where the pivots were. I want you to notice to where the path separated. I want you to be able to capture that and identify it and say, wow, look where I am now. Look what kind of story I got from this. You're meant for more. I believe in you. You deserve it. Do not approach these things from a victim mentality. I was speaking of Allison Dawson. Her and I were talking a little bit about this exact thing this morning. How many people in the comments have had somebody reach out to them wanting help, but then at the same time, they're very quick to start throwing in there like everything that they're going through, like all the reasons why they can't do it. Okay, I've only got this much money to get me through groceries, or I've Social Security, or I'm behind on my mortgage payments, or whatever it is, and they're really quick to just approach everything. They want help, but everything is being done through the lens of a very scarcity and victim mindset.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about is, how do you decide like who to help and what do you say to those people and all those kind of things? Chris, do you have any thoughts when those types of scenarios come through? Because they do. And there's lots of people, and I did it, and I'm not trying to be unsympathetic or unempathetic to anybody's situation. I when my wife was going through nursing school, it was the hardest thing, both just on our marriage, but even financially, man. Like when we had, talk about living paycheck to paycheck, when we had $5 to go to Little Caesars, bro, oh my goodness, that was such a magical Friday. When we could scrounge around
at the time.
What?
Best pizza at the time, I could tell you that.
Still, I wish they had a Little Pizza up here, or Little Caesars up here in Wasilla. And then when we could scrounge around $3 in coins to get crazy bread with it, it was like, oh shit, bro, we ain't good tonight. So I get it. I'm not unsympathetic to anybody's situation or circumstances, but there's only one person that can change those circumstances. But Chris, when you see things like that happen, what is your first frame of thought?
That's a good question. It's a reason that it is currently happening. I always think more so is the reason it's happening, and more so, how did you get into that situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how don't let it happen again. Because as you just mentioned, the example of the pizza scenario, I 100% been through that many times. Yep. So on a hypothetical, I can share a couple of something that actually happened to me many years ago. Lights were cut off. I went to my parents, more so giving excuses, blaming it on we call it the Rochester Gas and Electric, but the gas and electric, the RG&E for short. Many excuses. Oh, I didn't get the letter in time, or I didn't know. I thought I had enough time. I had enough this, instead of really taking a step back and realizing, wait a minute, what did you do with your money when you had the money at the specific time? Did you spend it on BS? Did you buy unnecessary clothes? Did you buy unnecessary shiny objects to impress other individuals? So when that happened to me, it was emotional time. It was emotional.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm glad it happened to me, because from that day forward, I never let it happen again. So when someone tells me their situation, I gotta ask the uncomfortable uncomfortable question, specifically, what did you do to put yourself in this position? Sometimes it may ask me 3 or 4 times, asking that same question in different ways to get the truth. And look, accountability and realizing that is always you that puts yourself in that situation would change a lot of things in life. A lot of your surroundings, a lot of your habits, a lot of different things, and just the people that you want to be around. Did that play a huge factor? A huge factor. So if it was more so someone asking me that specific question, that'll be my answer. What put you in this position right now? What did you do in your past to put you in this position right now? And I truly think everything happens for a reason. It was the reason why you went through this. Now, if it's happening more than once, it's a pattern. You're doing something that you should be changing. You should be changing that pattern.
So people continue to see continuing circumstances come into their lives until they change themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what people talk about when they say life happens for you, not to you. You'll continue seeing these repeated instances and inconveniences come into your life until you decide to change them, until you decide to change how you think about them, how you understand them. That's why Chris and I, like, a big part of what we do personally, and part of our own individual accountability to each other is self-development. And not only for us, but for our team as well. Self-development is a huge thing, because I mean, Chris has talked about a handful of things today relating to that, but being able to understand and see life events through a different lens and from a different perspective, and be able to internalize that and digest that information from a different vantage point. Being able to do that, you're going to take action on it differently. Chris mentioned, and thank you for sharing that, bro. Chris mentioned, when somebody says something to you, or when somebody does something, and at first glance it could come off wrong, maybe that person didn't communicate it well enough, maybe it was ill-intentioned, maybe it wasn't. But understanding right from the get-go, like, hey, you know what? Let me look at this through the lens, just automatically assuming, not having context or anything right here. Let me just assume that what this person said or did was with the best of intentions. That they were trying to help out, or fill in, or help solve a problem in a different way. And maybe I'm understanding it wrong. And so simply just approaching it from that perspective, you change how you communicate with that individual. You change how the company culture is within your business. And it doesn't even have to be internally. It could be external, with anybody that you communicate with, anybody you're trying to build relationships with, that you do business with. Being able to look at things just from that perspective alone will change the actions that you take towards it. That's not with people, that's with events. I use this example all the time, just because it used to be so triggering for me when I was in that situation, when I was living paycheck to paycheck. Bro, when a check engine light came on, like, instant freaking anxiety. I'm like, man, is this going to be $200 or $300, which is still killing me? I'm like, great. I'm depleting my savings doing this, or is it going to be a couple thousand? And it would just cause me massive, massive freaking anxiety. And when I started to educate myself and to go and dive into the self-development, the mindset side of things, to include just understanding money. For a long time, I spent a lot of my time in a victim mentality. What's the word I'm looking for? I as a victim, I guess I approached everything from a victim mentality. And once I started taking accountability for my own actions and understanding things differently, and I started understanding, wow, it's actually easier for me to go and learn how to make an extra $1,000 a month than it is to cancel my Netflix account and then cancel this, and then I can't get a coffee here, and I can't go get a slushie here, and I can't blah 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 blah. And it was easier for me to figure out how to go make $1,000 a month than it was to figure out how to save $1,000 a month. And it's like, well, how am I going to make an extra $1,000 a month if I feel like I'm already busy? Is there people in here right now where you guys feel like you're already extremely busy? It's like, I literally have no time for anything else, Jesse. When you approach it from that perspective, it's like, man, I can go figure out how to make $1,000, but I'm already busy. So what can I do? Because I've been through that exact same scenario. You know, I started waking up at 3 a.m. I know most people hearing that, they're like, okay, yeah, fuck that. I want to make money. I want to make money, bro, but not waking up at 3 a.m. I don't want it that bad. I would rather sleep my time away than have to wake up at 3 a.m. But Jesse, I'm going to be tired and I can't function like that. And I got responsibilities. And it's like, this is the exact reason why people lose all their money if they get an inheritance, if they win the lottery, and then they freaking lose it because they don't know what the hell to do with that. One of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn: if somebody hands you $1 million, then it's best you learn how to become a millionaire so that you get to keep the money. And it has nothing to do with understanding what to actually physically do with that money or how to invest it. Are you the type of person that is anytime, dude, when I was in the military, Chris, when you sign up for the military or when you re-up, sometimes depending on your career field or whatever, like you'll get bonuses. Some people get, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 plus bonuses depending on what it is they're doing. And a lot of people have already spent that money before the checks even been wired. They're already going to the new dealership, getting a new truck. They're already going and buying a new side-by-side. They're already getting a new camper. They're already prepping all this shit before they even get the freaking money. That's not how wealthy people operate. Wealthy people are perfectly fine sitting on that money and carefully analyzing what they're going to do with it and what the highest and best use of that money is going to be. And they're going to use that money to make them more money. Derek says some giant TV. Dude, 100%. So getting up at 3 a.m. for me, it wasn't like one of those things where it's like, okay, cool, now I'm making money. It molded me into becoming that person that I am now. It taught me mentally how to say, hey, despite everything else I have going on, despite all the other obstacles I've got going on in my life, I'm willing to do anything and everything in order to achieve my dreams. And Chris shares that exact same mentality to the freaking T. Him and I are both fathers, brothers, siblings, sons, partners. And we live on just almost opposite ends of the earth, it feels like. We've met in person one time. Meeting in Vegas will be only our second time ever meeting in person.
Crazy to think about, man.
It is, bro. Good golly, Miss Molly. I'm excited to give you a big hug. But right here, it's all because of right here, right between the ears. It starts right here.
Allison said, love your thoughts. Great conversation this morning. We all go through things, but we all have to understand that you still need to do things if you want to be where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's it. This is my mentality as a coach, as a friend, as an investor, as a businessman. There's a really good Chris. Have you ever seen the movie The Guardian?
Yes.
You have?
I've seen. Yeah. So you probably shocked I say yes.
I am.
But I
Okay.
have
Do you remember it pretty well or no?
No, vaguely.
Okay. So to refresh your memory, and for everybody else who hasn't seen it, this is what Allison and I were talking about this morning. In this movie, The Guardian, it has Ashton Kutcher and Kevin Costner in it. And they both they both work for the Coast Guard. And I think it takes place like somewhere on the east or the West Coast, like in Oregon or Washington. I think it's Washington. And when people are shipwrecked or their boat catches fires, or you got people that are kayaking or stuck in a cave or, wherever, like Coast Guard gets called out and they go and have to swim and save them. And they dispatch boats and helicopters and things like that. And pretty rigorous thing. And Kevin Costner is kind of like this revered guy. So when Ashton Kutcher and all of his friends decide to go through, the Coast Guard's basic training, they're looking at Kevin Costner like this guy who's got like thousands and thousands and thousands of lives that he's saved. And there's rumors going around about like what the number is, like how many people has he saved. And so it's kind of internally amongst the recruits, like that's what they're talking about. That's how they're looking at Kevin Costner. And throughout the movie, you kind of see those two butt heads. And then at some point in the movie, they start talking. Ashton Kutcher starts talking to Kevin Costner, and he's like, hey, like, I got to know, like, what's your number? Like, and of course he's talking about like, how many people have you saved? Like, what's your number? And I think Kevin Costner comes back. It was, I don't know if this is the exact number, but he's like 31. And Ashton Kutcher's trying to look like not surprised. He's sitting here thinking he's going to say thousands and thousands and thousands. And he's like 31. And he's like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Trying not to feel like he's all like, under, like he undersold it or something. And then Kevin Costner continues and he's like, 31 people I've lost. Like he never kept track of how many he saved. That was the only number that was important to him, was how many lives he lost. And then Ashton Kutcher asks him, he's like, how many, what did he say? Oh, he said, how do you decide? Like when you go out and you see like these scenes throughout the movie, when they go out to a boat that's on fire and sinking, or people that are kayakers that are trapped in a cave and they can't get out, and the storm's brewing and the waves are 150 feet high, and you got helicopters and like all these things going out, like it's chaotic. And you can imagine when people are going through that, they're pretty distressed, even when they're about to be saved. So they're not cooperating. They're I guess just to draw a parallel here, they're coming from a victim mentality. They're fighting the Coast Guard. You got people that are literally trying to swim over there and save their life, and they're being non-compliant. And I think at one point, I remember even I think Kevin Costner or Ashton Kutcher like had to punch one of the guys like in the face and knock his ass out so that he could actually drag him and put him in the basket so the helicopter could lift him up. He was just being so uncooperative. And there's a lot of chaos that goes on in business. You got a lot of people that are approaching things from a very victim perspective and mindset. And Ashton Kutcher asks Kevin Costner, he's like, when you go to that, when you got all these people in the water, he's like, how do you decide who to save? How do you decide who gets to live and who gets to die? And for the audience, maybe some of you guys listening are thinking about that exact same scenario. It's like, man, that's a good That's a good question. When you got 10 people right here and you can only take one back at a time, how do you decide who lives and who dies? And Kevin Costner, he said, you swim as hard as fast as you can. You grab one person and you bring it back, and you do what you can, and the sea takes the rest. And I thought about that, and I was like, man, how many people have I talked to that they want help? I know that they are capable of more, but they're going to fight and they're going to struggle, and they just want to approach everything from a victim mindset, and they want to come up with excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. You got to help the ones that are ready to make the commitment, the ones that are ready to be saved, the ones that are ready to make progress. And the sea takes the rest. There's people that will continue to just consume content and not take action on anything. And you gotta be really hyper vigilant of those individuals, because, as Chris said, if you guys weren't paying attention, it's very important to surround yourself with people that are A player people. That's the fastest way to get to where it is you're trying to go. You've got to get around the scarcity. You've got to get around the negativity. And even though we want to help these individuals that are approaching things from a scarcity or negative mindset standpoint, you got to think about how that affects you, and you've got to be able to protect you. Our time is limited here on this earth. Time is limited every single day. You got to get really, really intentional with, who is it that I'm trying to emulate? Who do I want to be like? Where do I want to grow in my business? Where do I want to grow in my personal life? Who do I want to grow with? Everybody in here is 100% meant for more. Chris is meant for more. I am meant for more. And we're very, very intentional with who we allow inside of our circle. And you guys should be the exact same way. So this is all stuff, Chris, I'm excited, dude. This is all stuff that we're going to talk about in Vegas, and just being able to see what we've created with, Angel and James as well. I mean, all virtually, dude. We all live in all different places across the country, and to be able to do all of this virtually, I'm just excited to see what the hell happens in person. Not only for us, but for everybody else as well. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom? Or
the only thing I can more so add on, guys, I say this a lot, I mean it, the sky's the limit. Don't let anyone, I don't care who they are, family, friend, foe, don't let nobody hold you back for your full not just opportunities, potential, but your growth in life. There's so much more out there. If you don't like your situation, change it. Can't wait to see you guys in Vegas. Vegas is approaching very rapidly. I think it's 30 days, 29 days left. I can't remember.
Like that, yeah.
But it's damn, I just realized, from DR to New York to Florida. Now we're going to Vegas. It's going to be pretty neat. I'm super excited. Guys, Jesse mentioned it once before. I'm gonna mention again. This is gonna be something that you guys haven't experienced before. It's gonna be a very intimate setting. Guys, be prepared to get uncomfortable. Be prepared to be uncomfortable. It may not feel right at that specific time, but I can guarantee that you guys will understand why we're doing what we're doing. But until next time, guys, we appreciate you very much. We'd love to see everyone in Vegas. There's only a few slots left. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 5 or 6 seats left, if I'm not mistaken. Jesse, is that correct?
I think that was as of 2 days ago. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, you don't want to miss out. Feel free to reach out to myself, Jesse, or any of the team members. along with, guys, if you can go to the website, take a peek at it. If you got any questions, please don't hesitate. There's, we could probably answer your question. Maybe you need a little bit more clarity about what the event is going to be and or what exactly is going to be done there. So we appreciate you guys. Until next time, guys.
Thanks for listening to the House of Cards podcast with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and have learned something new about real estate investing. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips and tricks. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time.